Joe Budden and Akademiks react to Drake's new diss record.
Congratulations on you being the mixtape right now. You're the mixtape. You're the DJ Clue right now, today. But when Dot come, oh my God, this is about to be crazy. Yo, when Dot come, act, I know you picked a side already. But when Dot come, I'm telling you, I'm not saying nothing about Drake because I got to go to work next week, and that was a jab, so I'm not going to judge it.
That's right. On a recent Akademiks live stream, Joe Budden would call in and talk to Akademiks about the rap beef that is currently involving the whole rap game. I mean, there's never been something this crazy happening in hip-hop. I know a lot of you guys are going to say, nah, Danny, I come from that era. Jay-Z versus Nas. Nah, that's not the same. We literally have all of the 2 through 10 people dissing the top guy. This is completely unique, but we'll get to that later. All right, so Joe Budden would call into Akademiks live stream and essentially acknowledge that Akademiks is probably the new king of hip-hop media. For a while, Charlemagne had that crown. A little bit after, Joe Budden had that crown. There was other folks vying for it. You know, you had Nori. You had guys like Gillian Wallow. There was a chance they could have gotten it. But really, the consensus guys, I think, who had the hip-hop crown are Joe Budden, Charlemagne, Star, and now Akademiks. That's right. We have to applaud Akademiks. This has been years in the making.
You know, 10 years ago, Drake and Meek got into it. It was the biggest leap my platform ever took. You know, it was redefined how rap confrontations were covered, dissected, disseminated, how people viewed it in real time. I was doing it mostly on Twitter at that time, breaking stuff down, attaching it to real life incidents and circumstances around that issue, and everybody came flocking, man. The platform went up. 10 years later, this situation yesterday, none of it was planned. Get 2 exclusive records. I'm sampled on 1 record. We had damn near 100,000 people watching live. It felt like a pendulum swing. And that's good. That's good for everybody who does content like how we do it. Progress.
He has persevered through all the people saying he's a terrible person, he's horrible, but his hard work would help overcome all of that. And I see a lot of people saying Akademiks is a plague to the culture. Well, I have an issue with that largely because he's just works too hard for y'all to say that. And in general, I mean, he did his thing. The guy streams all the time. He still is doing it. He's in his 30s now and he still shows the same passion for it he did in his 20s. So a lot of you folks saying that we need a new platform that is better than Akademiks, this is wrong. You don't have the work ethic. I'm sorry, you don't. You don't. And then I even see this new narrative about Akademiks glazing Drake. I mean, he's a fan of Drake. What do you want from him? And that narrative largely comes from people who are probably Kendrick fans. I'm sorry. Kendrick fans, you are just as susceptible to the glazing you accuse other people of. You simply think because Kendrick is intellectual and deep that you are unique. But I want to remind you all that hating the top rapper at the time is pretty much the same thing as liking the top popular rapper at the time. There was a lot of people who said the same thing about Jay-Z. You know, he was trash because he was stealing Biggie's flow when he was stealing other people's lyrics. He was taking the South flow. This is just all the critiques that the top guy gets. But anyway, let's get back to what Joe Budden had to say along with Akademiks. So this whole thing was a culmination of Drake's diss record where he went back and fired at Kendrick Lamar and the rest of the rap Avengers. And I have to say, I want to give my opinion on the record. I love the record. A bit of that back-to-back in it where you know the ladies, you know the IG models, even the non-IG models, the ladies who work at Staples are going to be going crazy to this. And I think a lot of people are missing the strategy of what Drake was doing here. He was deconstructing the myth of Kendrick being some deep intellectual artist, some hip-hop historian. He was essentially saying, nah, dog, As a rapper, you've had to sell out before. Why do you think he mentioned that Taylor Swift record? Go back and listen to that Taylor Swift record. Kendrick Lamar wasn't the best on that. And it probably is a sore spot for Kendrick Lamar to know that he spit a pretty poppy sounding record on a Taylor Swift song. Right? Bad Blood, I think his verse was terrible, by the way. Bad Blood was a super pop record. And Kendrick was probably implored by people at his label to hop on that. I don't think Kendrick just said, I'm going to go do it. And Drake reminded him of a time where he wasn't calling the shots. He was very much somebody who was under the wing of something he was not controlling. And in general, the flow is really good. You know, in battle rap, sometimes it's not necessarily the person saying the most intricate scheme that's going to win. Remember when Murder Mook battled Loaded Lux, right? Loaded Lux was getting real intricate.
Addiction is no good for niggas when in the trenches. How you wake up in intervention, laying in intensive?
But Murder Mook just said some simple stuff that got the job done.
We done got sick and tired of your mumbling. We in a situation perpetuated and delegated by the mothership and all this other shit.
I think Drake is going for the simple route, but with a conversation of undertones about how Kendrick isn't really who you think he is. I mean, that's kind of what every battle rap is. This guy in front of me is not who y'all think he is. He sold out. I loved it. I think it was dope. And shout out to Akademiks for seizing the moment. He knew what it was. I was surprised to not see other hip-hop media go live. I would have thought, you know, someone like Joe Budden would have hit the airwaves. I know he just dropped a pod. I was expecting him to do a YouTube live, a Twitter live. He dropped the ball. And this is why Akademiks is the king of hip-hop media, right? His infrastructure is such that anything happens, I'm going to react to it. But the other guys, it seems like they need their co-host around. He knows how to operate stuff. He knows how to cut on his own stream. He doesn't need people behind him. He doesn't need to make a call and say, hey, yo, Erickson, come through. We're about to record. I'm sure he has his own people that helps him. But I can guarantee you, Akademiks knows exactly how to orchestrate his own thing. And it's going to be interesting to see how the other members of media react to Akademiks becoming the king currently. It's not just Akademiks having that record ready to play on air. It's also his coverage of the Diddy situation. It's also how unapologetic he is about speaking his mind. And on top of that, he does know when to be politically correct, so he never really gets fully canceled. He's just a different breed of the new hip-hop media. And this is happening while the situation with his girl happens underneath everything. So it just goes to show you that Akademiks is Teflon in some ways. He's going to have to do something really crazy to get canceled. And he's too smart to do that. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, Danny, why are you glazing Akademiks? I'm not glazing Akademiks. I'm just recognizing the hard work he's put in. But there's also someone else or two other people who are rising in the ranks of hip-hop media. And that's Rory and Mal, right? Mal just did this epic J. Cole rant.
Just told us that's what it is.
No, that's not what he said.
What are you talking? He just came. He just stood stage and said, "I couldn't sleep for 72 hours." This is rap. Rapper.
Okay.
This is hip hop. You niggas is just rapping. It's just bars. Nigga, put pen to paper, get in the booth, and show us why you feel like you're the best nigga in the game. What are we talking? Losing sleep over what?
That is probably Mal's version of Joe's Views rant.
What has he told you different from Take Care to this album? And if that was never more visible than this album, when I'm riding listening to 1 through 8, my nigga, and it's the same thing told, not as dope as you already.
And then it comes out that Rory and Mal were hinting at having heard the Drake record last week.
A lot of you other niggas get prepared to write, because y'all in that shit too.
Drop down and give me 50.
Sound like you heard it.
I didn't hear anything. I'm just letting niggas know. Prepare if that record comes out, because it's gonna be some shit.
They're gonna do some push-ups?
Yeah, this gonna be some shit. It's gonna be some shit.
And their show actually has been good over the last few months, ever since their Sirius deal ended. And I gotta wonder, why'd you wait so long? How come you didn't immediately try to do the best you can? But that's neither here nor there. But let me know what you think. Akademiks is the king of hip-hop media. Joe Budden had to turn to him to be able to get his ideas off about the Drake record. Rory and Mal are rising up the ranks. And I also want to say, it's kind of crazy. A lot of you thought that this Drake record was AI. AI can't imitate flow. That sounded exactly like Drake. It sounded exactly like what Drake would do on a diss record in terms of making it sound like an actual record versus just a diss. Kind of confused why y'all thought it was AI. Now, as for Kendrick, how will he respond? A lot of people are saying Kendrick can take as long as Drake to respond. And I respect that opinion. But I largely believe that the boogeyman cannot take too long to respond. Drake was never called the boogeyman. Kendrick was called the boogeyman. And now Kendrick has to really deliver. This is the first time in his career that he has to enter the field of battle with everybody watching. Before, he was a sniper, right? He would get to sit up on his castle or sit up wherever, find a vantage point and shoot at the top guys in hip-hop. Whether it be Big Sean many years ago or whether it be Drake now. But now everybody is watching him in the stadium and they want to see how he engages in war. Now, Kendrick is obviously capable of pulling something off, but we all see what happens sometimes when people get put under the spotlight. Sometimes they don't react the same way. And I don't know if Drake or Kendrick have the record that's going to kill someone's career and even have the other side's fan base admit, like, yo, this guy cooked the other guy. Like, Drake fans are going to say Drake won. Kendrick fans are going to say Kendrick won. And it's going to take maybe something as nuclear as Pusha, Story of 89, to win this battle. But I don't know if there's anything secretive about Drake now that can really end Drake. A lot of the stuff that's being alluded to just doesn't seem like a big deal. Like, I don't care that Drake's not clearing your record. I don't care if Drake is apparently shorting you on a deal. He gave you guys #1 hits, so that's not going to hit as you are hiding a child. It's not going to hit the same. So, I think Kendrick will respond. Obviously, he has to. If he doesn't, that will be career suicide. And when he does, it'll be intricate wordplay, but it won't be anything that changes the perception of Drake. Because a lot of people already hate Drake. The people that hate Drake gonna hate him more. And the people that love Drake love Drake. Drake is still gonna outsell everybody. Drake is still gonna be twice as big as Kendrick and J. Cole and all of the other rappers dissing him combined. So we will see how this goes. Oh man. Shout out to Akademiks to close this video. Joe Budden, get on your grind. You letting Lil Bro take over. Lil Bro took you over. He's not really Lil Bro anymore, obviously. He's probably equal or bigger than Joe Budden. But at the time they joined Everyday Struggle, Akademiks was the Lil Bro. And now he has surpassed. The mentee has surpassed the mentor. And this just proves Everyday Struggle is never coming back. Joe Budden and Akademiks are too big. There's no platform that's going to pay them the money that they want. And Joe Budden won't be able to pay Akademiks the money that he wants, because we all know Joe Budden has this strong, firm guideline as to how he wants to structure any deal that he does in media. He either wants to own the IP or be a partner in the IP. And on top of that, I don't think he has the money to pay Akademiks what he wants. So maybe it could be structured as the two start their own Patreon or the two start their own YouTube channel together and they split the profits that way. But even then, who gets the lion's share? Back when Akademiks and Joe Budden did Everyday Struggle, Joe Budden was the A-side. Joe Budden was the guy that would garner the attention. It was Joe Budden going viral by screaming on Akademiks. Now, Akademiks might be the A-side, but that remains to be seen. Alright, y'all. Follow me on Instagram, the Twitter, and the Reddit. On Instagram, I'm StopTV. On Twitter, I'm also StopTV. And on Reddit, I am modding for the Joe Budden Network. It's getting real interesting, yo. I love it, man. This is what hip hop is. It's not gonna get violent. Well, maybe it will get violent. I actually think something's gonna happen with regards to the entourages. It's almost guaranteed. But until it does, thank God it's just hip hop for now. All right, y'all. This is Danny from the Stop. Peace.
I ain't even never seen your face, nigga. Oh shit. Nah, he said you a stop sign. Oh my God, he went crazy.
Killed that nigga.